Greetings, chess fans. I'm continuing the coverage from Goa, India, where I'm taking place in the 2025 FIDE World Cup, my very first participation at this event, and this is the round one tiebreaks. So it's a knockout tournament, 206 players. The first 50 top seeded players are getting by in the first round, and everybody else is fighting out two classical games and then, if necessary, tiebreaks. So my opponent is a young Kazakhstan Grandmaster Alisher Suleymenov. We already played a draw against each other in both classical games. So now it's time to figure out who is gonna be victorious in the tiebreaks. So the tiebreak format is as follows. It is two rapid games, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. Then, if the score is still tied, it's 10 minutes plus 10 seconds. Then we move to 5 plus 3, 3 plus 2, etc. And then finally, sudden death game. Well, now me being here in this place and not being on a commentator's chair, I can definitely tell you, tie breaks are one of the most stressful events for any player because you get to see a lot of raw emotions. There's a lot of things happening at the same time. And I also understand this is very exciting for the fans, but for the players, this is a torture. Anyway, let's move on to the games. So the day before I drew the colors that I'm going to start the first game with the white color. And I decided to change my repertoire and play e4 because my opponent already had shown that he has deep prep against my knight f3. He placed a Grunfeld, and I had some idea that I could test it against him, but I decided just to go back to my main continuation e4, and I fully expected that he is going to respond with the Petrov because this is what he has been practicing in this year. So all of this I was fully expecting. We blitzed out the moves. Knight e4, d4, d5. I used to play a lot of bishop d3, but I figured out that I have to... Oh, sorry. I have to switch to the main lines, which is d4, d5, and bishop d3. All of this is played thousands and thousands of times. Black has several setups. He decided to play the modern move bishop f5. Short castle, rook e1, and knight e2. And this is basically the trend at the highest level. So white is trading off a couple of pieces, like either knight e2, queen e2. I don't think it really matters here. I think actually after knight e2 I can take on f5. I get two bishops. But we get a symmetrical position where white is slightly pressing. And I didn't really have any deep prep here. I just knew a couple of ideas that I have to play bishop f4, rook e2, rook e1, maybe h4 at some point, perhaps knight e5, and basically what you call this could be some kind of a free roll, a free chance to go for the win and see what happens. I mean, Stockfish, of course, always holds this, but from a human perspective, I thought it's definitely worth a shot. At least there's a game. He played knight e7. I remember that knight a6 was the main move. And after knight a6, I think... What was the continuation? I think it was bishop f4. And there were moments... I'll try to recall. Where was this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so knight a6 is the main move, but he played knight e7 and bishop f4. And I recall that in these positions, there's always the move queen b3. So that's the key idea. I'm threatened to take on d6, win the pawn on b7. And now the key is that he cannot play queen b6 because I'm going to take on e7 and play bishop d6. So this pawn on b7 is not so easy to defend. If you would play something like rook b8, you're walking under a pin. And if you play b6, like you might have problems with a pawn on e5 and knight e5, d takes on e5. I get a pawn majority at the king side for a potential king side attack. I'm talking like knight f5, queen g3, etc. So even though we have a symmetrical position, I don't think it's so clear. He played knight f6, and I was thinking, okay, I can probably do the same stuff. I can play queen b3. So he has difficulties to protect the pawn. Bishop d6 is a threat. He played rook b8, which is a very unpleasant move for black, but there's nothing else he can do. Again, b6 is going to be knight e5, and he has big practical problems. So he played here, and I was very tempted to play queen a3, because this comes with two threats like queen a7 and rook e7, followed by bishop takes on d6. I discarded this because of knight f to e8, and I didn't see how to continue after this. Maybe just double the rooks and I'm better. The point is queen a7, rook a8, I cannot do this because I trapped my queen. And this is why I spent a couple of minutes here trying to figure out how do I continue. And after the game, my opponent said that he just want to play knight f to e4, which, by the way, makes perfect sense. Take it, he cannot take with the knight, because now you see, I can just take with a7 here, queen b7, there's no rook b8. Even if there was rook b8, I mean, his entire queen side is falling apart. But now the point is d takes on e4, knight e2, f5, black is worse, but he's holding. I did not see the move, and instead I just decided to double the rooks, rook e2, rook e8, rook e1, bishop f8. So from a theory standpoint, again, I closed the window. From a theory standpoint, I think I got basically everything I could have hoped for in the opening, but what was getting pretty clear is that I'm playing a bit heavy. Is that I was spending a bit more time than I should have, and I think around this stage my opponent already had like 3-minute lead on the clock. He was like playing inaccurate, but he's playing faster, and this also puts pressure on me. How should I continue? And I was looking for ways, like maybe I can play bishop e5 just to keep more tension on the board, but if he just responds with h6, I just didn't see what should I do. And I think this is the position where I should have played it a bit with hand, like treat it, it's basically a blitz game. Do not look for a forcing continuation, just try to apply more pressure. Yeah, bishop e5 would be a very unpleasant move for black. I decided to trade the rooks, which was not the best choice. I thought that his pieces are a bit discoordinated, and now this gives me a chance to organize some kings at attack, but actually he just goes back, and all of my advantage is gone. Because what he wants to do is he wants to play queen a5 and rook e8. And now bishop e5 is already not the same, but it definitely made sense to give it a try. Like bishop e5, he plays rook c8 and just knight e4 next. Yeah, so what I'm doing. So bishop d6 obviously is nothing. I played h4 because this is one of the common ideas in this position. I want to instigate some sort of initiative. At the king side, I also make a window for my king. He played rook c8, queen a5 maybe was a bit better. I play c3, knight e4, knight g5. So this was one of the reasons why I played h4, because if he takes on g5, I play h takes on g5, and I suddenly get a lot of space advantage. He took on g3, queen g3, and yeah. Oh, what's happening with me? Again, I'm closing the window all the time. So I realized I basically have no advantage left, because whatever I had is gone. And I thought that he can play knight h5, queen f3, takes, just play queen d7, and just have a completely equal possession. Ancient actually entertains us. It says that after knight h5, you can play queen h3, with the idea to play queen f5, try to with a checkmate, and apparently this is somehow really great for white. Like, it's just winning. Yeah, king g8 is queen e6 with a smarter mate. It's not a smarter mate, it's just a mate. Yeah, and somehow I'm dominating the position and winning. I did not see this. I had no time to think about such nuances. Neither did he. He played h6, knight f3, and I thought, again, he's going to play knight h5, trade off my bishops here, and I was like pretty happy to play this in a time scramble, like h5, fix a weakness, potentially, if at some point he plays f6, I can dominate those light squares, the knight should be better than the bishop, and I wanted to go here. This was the big idea. I thought including h4, h6, h5, it favors me. But he played queen e7, which I think it was a blunder, because he missed. I mean, he thought that bishop takes on h6 is going to be knight e4, and my queen has to leave the g-file, and the bishop on h6 is lost. But he blundered that I can include knight e5, and after queen f5, I can't take on h6. Again, the only problem is I was spending so much time And I know I'm repeating myself. But what can I do? I feel like this is the critical moment. My opponent is inaccurate, so I have to check it out. Like, can I take the pawn or not? Because this might be a game decider. So knight h5, it does not work. I play queen g5, takes, and even if he delivers a fork, I trap his knight. So that was a key idea. Takes, and I played knight g6. I'm winning the pawn on h4, and I'm just dominating with a better placement of the pieces. So he played knight e4, and now there was a complete mess available. Like, I was thinking about this. I forgot to check with an engine. I was thinking about queen f4. That's why I spent so much time here. And after queen h5, I just couldn't figure it out. Can I do this or not? Let's say bishop g5. I protect the bishop. He plays f6. Again, it's a pin. I play queen f5. I'm attacking the rook on c8. He plays rook e8. I play g4. Like, I'm attacking the queen. He plays queen h7. I'm playing queen d7. He plays rook e7. And I'm looking at this and the clock is ticking. I cannot figure it out. I mean, is this working or not? Because it feels it could be also losing. And the engine would basically later confirm that this was losing. So I play queen f3. The other idea I had. And after takes, to be honest, I simply blundered knight x on c3. Yeah, I just blundered it. Because I thought he has to play knight d6. I'm retreating, and knight f5. I thought he has compensation. Yeah, like, I have an extra pawn, but it's a double pawn. I play h5, whatever. And I'm pressing. Yeah, and as soon as that is, wait, there's knight takes on c3. So now what? Okay, so I have to continue. I play bishop takes on g7. And here, I thought he has to play knight b5. Take an f8, and the position is about... like level, I suppose. I have an extra double pawn, but what does it matter? I would have played like a4 and knight e6, and he puts the knight on f5. Actually, I like black's position here. But again, he helped me a bit. He took on g7 and played here. And this rook e8 was a bit surprise to me. Again, he was playing very quickly, trying to apply pressure on my clock. I only expected c5, which I thought is the natural move to activate the rook. And I was thinking, that I'm going to seek some counterattack at the b file. Let's say takes, rook c2. I always have rook b5. So that was one of the core ideas. But then suddenly he played rook e8, which I did not expect. And I thought, okay, probably I cannot trade the rooks. Like, there could be problems with bishop h6, bishop d2. Could be a big issue. And I thought that... if I play king f1, which is the natural choice, again he plays c5, which kind of makes no sense. I don't know why I was thinking like this, because the rook was on c8, and then c5 made more sense. Not rook e8, c5, go back, rook c8. But anyway, this is the reason why I didn't play king f1, and I'm still keeping the better position. So, this is one of those positions where you just have to play by hand, but I was still, thinking very deeply about some ideas. I played f4 and I blundered bishop h6. Yeah. And now it's just a draw. There's nothing I can do. I cannot play knight a3. There's bishop d2. I cannot do that. So I had to go to the rook endgame, and it was just a draw. I tried to do something. I have an outside pass pawn, but it's going nowhere. And I had to liquidate, and I finished in a draw. So, yeah, I felt a bit disappointed after the first game, but I mean, still, the result remained tied, and I felt I had my chances, but I tried to remain positive because before the match, before the World Cup, I had mainly worked with my black color, and now I had to play another rapid game with a black color, so feeling everything was going to be good. So let me move on to the next game. All right, so the next game, as you recall, in the classical game, Suleymenov played d4. He decided to play e4 in this game. I had repeated the entire morning all my caro-kann files. And I don't know, maybe it was silly of me to mention in some of my previous recaps that I've been using sources by Cheparinov, because I'm pretty sure that Suleymenov and his team, they figure out which source I'm talking about. because this line, it comes straight from Cheperinov's course. Yeah, so maybe I should have been smarter, but like I trusted my prep so much that I didn't really care. So we go to this line, e5, c5. Again, we blitzed out very quickly. Suleymenov had never played knight f3 over the board games. I had never played caro-kann, I think, in over the board games, but we knew perfectly what's coming. So knight c6, this is a trendy line. Knight c6, b takes, bishop d3, e6. So engine slightly prefers white, but black is ultimately okay. Should castle, knight e7, knight e2. One of the big ideas for black is to trade a let's go bishop with bishop a6. White can stop it if he wants. That's a different game. He decided not to do it. Bishop a6, takes, and c4. So this is the critical continuation, according to Cheperinov. And I knew it because I was checking the line in the morning. Or like, again, rechecking in case this happens. I play knight g6. And bishop e3 is one of the moves. I think queen e2 and then bishop e3 is also a move order. It doesn't really matter. So you play bishop e3, bishop e7, h4. Yeah. As soon as he did this, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. He's using the course against me. I knew it because I remember the line. I remember that h4 was an interesting move. And I can take the pawn. But in a rapid game, it's very risky. I mean, check it out. Like, I knew this line. Like, take it, takes. He plays bishop c5 and keeps my king in the center. So I can take another pawn. He plays queen b3, threatens to play queen b8. I can play knight e7. He plays bishop d6. He's threatening to trap my rook. I go rook b6. He goes here. He's threatening to open up the position. So I play c5. I play rook c6. I play d4. And this forced line continues and continues and continues. And it ends in a draw. But I have to pick up a lot of moves. So, I don't know, maybe it was smarter to go here, trust my prep because I knew the line. But if he had played like a sideline that I didn't know, I would essentially be already in time trouble here. Because he has prepped all of this at home. And I recalled that there was another move here which contained no analysis. That was the move h5, and basically Cheperinov said it's also okay to play this, and there was no continuation after that, so I just played h5 because it's a rapid game. You play rook c1, play a short castle, queen e2, and now it's a bit unforgivable that I spent like 2 minutes to play rook a8. Yeah, now I just can't explain why I didn't play it by hand, but the point is, I was like trying to figure out if now knight g5 works. Like knight g5, queen takes on h5 could be a problem. For example, if I take on g5, play queen b8, which is the core maneuver in this position, white plays a 4 and simply collects the pawn on h5 for free, right? So that's kind of a problem. And if I play, after knight g5, if I play knight e5, like I can collect it, he takes on g5, takes with the h-pawn, and goes for some kingside attack. Again, like, I have to figure out all of this in just mere minutes. So here, apparently, I can still do this, but I play queen b8, which is a very difficult move to find, like in a rapid game. So queen b8, and if he takes on h5, then I take on g5, and I take on e5 with a queen. So again, a lot of nuances here. And yeah, he played g3. And again, I'm spending here time trying to figure out, can I play queen b8 right now? Apply pressure against the pawn. He probably plays knight e4. I play queen e5. I cannot take with the knight, obviously. There's bishop f4. There's takes. Knight c6. This is very clear. I cannot do that. But I thought that I could maybe take with a queen, play queen f5, takes, and I was trying to look at this position, try to understand what is this. Because if he can take on e7 and play bishop c5 and just win a piece. So I felt like I have a lot of risk here and very little reward. For example, rook e1. And according to an engine, the only line when I'm holding is because of g5. And because of his weak king, I'm securing the draw. But to be honest, like, this is not even the strongest move. An engine says knight e4, white is just better because I still have a weakness to attend on h5. So I was thinking about all of these things, and that's why I decided to play rook e8, which I felt is a very useful move for these positions because, again, I was looking at knight g5, I was looking at bishop g5. By the way, bishop g5 was a move as well. And to be honest, I already don't remember what I had decided to do after this. Like bishop g5 to take with a7 and then play knight g5. But he played rook d1. Now I play queen b8, he played knight e4. I fully expected all of this. Queen e5, knight c6, queen d5. And now my rook on e8 stands exactly where it needs to be. So he took on d5. I took on d5. Yeah, here, I don't know, knight e4 already feels not the same because I could play queen h3, and this is just very risky. I have all kinds of ideas to sacrifice on e3, maybe even rook e5 in some lines, and I definitely have the initiative. So he played queen d3, and again, basically the same picture as in the classical games, as in the first rapid game. He was playing very quickly, like without basically any pressure. And I was the one, you know, who was like playing quite heavy and trying to figure out every single detail. I don't think I can trade the queens because then white is just better positioned. He's just dominating at the queen side, so I have to keep the initiative going. I play queen g4, which engine marks as a mistake. Apparently queen h3 was better. But he takes on d5. I take on h4. I think this is pretty clear that I develop a very strong initiative here. Like maybe just winning. Something like knight e4 and I don't know, rook a6 or something. Yeah, it just feels completely killing. Okay, maybe there's rook c6, but rook c6 is queen g4. It's just so scary for white to go here. But he can play queen g2. And he's still pressing. Apparently. Yeah, so even with all my creative play, I'm still worse. So I play queen g4. He didn't take the pawn on d5. He was, again, a bit afraid of some tactics after bishop h4, rook c4, queen h3. Engine just collects everything and even finds some refutations with knight e7. My rook on a8 is under attack, whatever. So he played queen d4. I played here. And I thought he's going to take on d5. I'm going to play bishop f6 because knight e7 now is a threat. And probably we're going to play something like this where I'm slightly worse, but I suppose I'm holding. And he unexpectedly took on e7, like I totally did not expect this. And added e7. And I'm thinking, like, I have two decent moves. Is it rook e7 or knight e7? So which should I do? My gut instinct says just play rook e7 and don't even think about this. And I'm thinking about this. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking. I cannot explain it. Like, I think this is such an obvious move. Rook e7, queen d5, and rook e8. Like, it's so natural. You push every single piece towards the king. You're down a pawn. Who cares? You have the initiative. And now he has to figure out, like, can I sacrifice on h4? Engine says I can. Like, this knight h4, rook e4, according to an engine, is a move. And somehow it ends with a draw. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But I think an even more human move is knight e5, and you just have the light square compensation. The white king is always weak, and I think that this is like definitely the turning point of the game. To play rook e7 and then completely take over the initiative, even though the engine says it's balanced. I took with the knight because I thought that I'm being pragmatic. I'm defending the pawn. It's not like I really care about it, but I'm improving the threat of knight f5. And he played bishop g5. Initially, I did not understand the move at all. I played f6. He played here, and now realized the pawn on d5 is under attack in many lines. So I played rook d8. Rook e1 apparently was the better move for white. He played bishop c7. And here again, I missed a golden opportunity. Like, I was thinking about knight f5. It's gotta be the right move. Knight f5. I feel it's the right move. And I still don't make it. But you know why I didn't make it? I thought he can play queen c5 and win the pawn on d5. Here engine says, after sensational rook e4, black is starting to be better. So where's the catch? If he takes the rook, suddenly I'm totally crushing. Knight g3, so the bishop is no longer protecting the g3 square. Queen d5 check gives nothing. Everything is protected. The rook on e4 is protected. The pawn on d5 is protected, and I'm threatened with a mate in one. Queen h1 mate. So he has to go with a queen, and I'm winning. So he cannot do that. And the second move is rook d5. And he cannot collect the knight to the 5 because of a back rank mate, and I have a terrific initiative. I mean, of course, he doesn't have to play queen c5, but what else does he do? Because, like, if he plays queen f4, I think I can play rook e4. Like, again, the initiative just basically flows itself. I can't believe it. Like, I didn't play this. So I played rook d7, and I felt it's a mistake, and I still spent like 2 minutes, and I played it anyway. Rook e1, king f7. He took a pawn, knight f5. I simply missed queen f4 for some reason. Like, this square was not under my radar. Take on e1, king g6. So I'm down a pawn. But I still have the initiative at the king side, right? So I'm trying to get the rook to the initiative. So I play rook d8 so that I'm able to use both files, because if I have it on c7, rook e7, rook e1, I could have played rook c7, the queen guards the c7 square. So that's why I play rook d8. Rook e8, I'm threatening rook e4. He goes here. I'm threatening to play rook c4. And I'm thinking, right? So he's going to play probably something like b3. I'm going to play rook c2. He's going to play 5. I'm going to play rook a2. And I thought that if he's going to play something like b4, I might have rook a3. Right? So rook a3, knight takes on g3, and here we go. Right? Here we go. Like, there's a lot of things happening, and my king is safe and his king is weak. So I thought this is an excellent chance for me to take over the game. I mean, Stockfish says rook c1, what is winning? So I have no way to improve my attack, and b4 is coming, and after b4, rook a3, I suppose there's some rook c3 and bishop c1, whatever. Yeah, the Stockfish doesn't care. But he repeated the position a couple of times, and played a5. I played rook c4, and queen b8. Okay. This is the critical moment of the game, and possibly the match. The biggest moment of them all. So I'm seeing my opponent is threatening to play queen e8 and attack the pawn on h5. And here comes something really tragic. I hallucinate. I cannot explain it. Like, I'm thinking, if I play queen g4, he plays queen e8, and he has the rook on the last rank. Like, I can't explain it. Like, in my mind, the queen is still on b8. And then he plays rook h8, queen e8, checkmate. You understand, right? So in my mind, the queen's still here. He plays rook e8, king g6, and queen e8 mate. So I'm looking at this like I'm seeing checkmate web. That I cannot do that. And I still have like 3 minutes here. And what should I do? Maybe I'm just losing here. Right? Because I do not see this queen g4, like, for me, it no longer exists. And here the engine says that white has to go here. And I am winning an exchange. But it somehow ends with a equal endgame where white is still pressing, I suppose, a bit. But it should be a draw. So what happens here, I suddenly start to see some ghosts. I play rook h4. I sacrifice a rook. Maybe it's panic, I don't know. But I notice I have a lot of tactical ideas with the queen and the knight. And very limited pieces on the board. Like, he plays something like king h1. We just repeat the position, so there's no progress. So he has to go here. I see I can give a check. If he goes king g1, we repeat. And if he plays king e2, unfortunately, this does not work. Like, unfortunately. Because after king d1, of course, I saw it that queen b3 is unavailable because the queen on b8 stands. And I just cannot play anything like queen f5, queen b1, queen c3, because he just puts the queen on c3 and there's nothing. I mean, there's other ways for white to win as well, but there's nothing. But I had another idea. I'm going to play queen g4. So he could go forward. That would be very lovely way to finish the match. And I thought that king f1 again repeats the position. He plays f3, I'm playing knight e4. And now I thought this makes a difference, because if he plays king d1, I take it probably queen f3 is going to be, again, a bit slow, but I can give checks, I can give checks, I can give checks, a lot of checks. And maybe there's some scenarios when I'm still down on exchange, but his king is weak, the knight is tricky, there's a time scramble, whatever. Like, here the engine says it gives some fascinating lines where I'm Like my king is walking, his king is weak, whatever engine says white is winning, but objectively I think it's still every result is possible with this only plus 10-second increment. He played king d3, I played knight f3, and now he is starting to get really low on time, like 30 seconds or so. And he figured out the best move queen b4. That was a really great move. So I play queen f5, I continue my initiative, play queen d3. Yeah, this is where the realization sets in. I'm gonna lose. Because I gonna take on d2. Like, only here I realized I'm done. There's rook d1. And there's nothing I can do. So, yeah, just to continue the game, I took the pawn at h4, like, give some chances. Maybe he's gonna misplay something. Like, he's threatened with a mate, I defend it. I try to go for some lost tricks, like if he plays a7, that would be really ridiculous to blunder a perpetual. He found it. White has many ways to win this, but again, checkmate in one threat, knight takes on d2. What if he blunders? Of course, he didn't blunder it. And the World Cup is over for me. Just like that. Yeah, you can imagine like the amount of disappointment I had. So, I mean, naturally, so I congratulated my opponent. I think he played fantastic chess overall. And he played the way I should have played it. He had a very deep prep. Like, with black, his Grunfeld, the Petrov. Although the Petrov, I think his prep was a bit shaky. And that he prepped d4, c4 against my semi-Tarrasch. He prepped the caro, like this very rare line. And probably there's a lot of lines that he didn't even get to see. So I was very, very impressed. But what I mostly was impressed was his ability to play lightly. And he always had this, like a smile, a smirk. Like he's like, okay, whatever, I'm playing here, everything is good, even if I bust out, everything is good. So he left upon me a very good impression. Like, I really liked him. But I was like so disappointed with myself. Like, and yeah, and then I read a comment on Reddit. Some guy said that this is such a classic player excuse, pray the opponent, but always say you play badly yourself. But this is how I feel. Like I'm not taking anything away from my opponent, but I feel I could have done it better. Like, yeah, I'm looking at the match, and there's so many missed opportunities. Like this first classical game, I was winning on the spot after he made this terrific mistake with a 5. In the first rapid game, like, okay, I was not winning, but I was pressing, and I felt like I should just play faster, lighter. And this second game, like, again, we have to go back to this critical moment. I feel it could have been completely different result. Right here. If I had just taken with the rook. This is something I cannot explain. That take with the rook, double the rooks, everything goes to the king's at attack. And again, like, there's no guarantees it would work for me. But yeah, this is a move I cannot explain. Like, I thought this is normally a very, very obvious move. So I think it's nerves, basically, because I was very stressed. And I tried to convince myself, like, I went to really great lengths, psychologically, convince myself this is a sparring game. It doesn't matter. If I bust out, life continues, etc. Be good, and blah, 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 blah. But once you sit down and you see cameras, you see, like, there's a camera, dedicated camera for us. There's a small camera next to the chessboard which takes your facial expressions. You see the opponent is like totally like praying or something for the game. You see everybody super stressed. Like, it just somehow adds up. And even though I'm an experienced player, I have never played at this level. I mean, at the World Cup. So it's not the same. Like, say what you want. It's not the same. And there's a very good reason that chess is at least 30% of psychology, maybe more. And I saw so many dramas. I saw so many heartbreaks and raw emotions in the tiebreak. Yeah, I think it's just very, very demanding for the players. But it is what it is, right? And now I busted out. So I'm gonna live, obviously. Super disappointed because I was working very hard to get to this moment. But obviously, life continues, and I will be doing commentary for chess.com starting with round 4. And what I really enjoyed is that guys at chess.com, they supported me in every way. They even covered my case. And I rewatched a couple of broadcasts. They're saying really nice words. Hope you never come to the commentary. You make it really far, etc. That was incredible. And every single one who supported me all the way. I know a lot of people were watching me, not only from YouTube, from Latvia, and I got a lot of messages mainly before the tournament, because I think everybody now thinks that I'm like so totally destroyed emotionally that I should not be bothered. No, it's all good. It's all good with me. I was very disappointed like yesterday. You can't imagine. But it's just another lesson. Just another lesson. So with that, my coverage for the FIDE World Cup continues, and I'm wishing Alisher best of luck. I think he deserved it to get to the next round. He played lighter chess. He was emotionally better ready. And I think that's what ultimately decided. So he's going to face Jordan on Forest in the second round, which starts today. As for me, like, I'm still staying here 3 days. That was the original idea. I was not really planning that I'm definitely going to make it to the round 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably relax a bit, go spend some time at the pool, maybe go to the beach, try some spa services they offer, maybe join commentary as a guest or something if they invite me, or I don't know, or maybe work a bit, but just try to make a small vacation out of this. Maybe I'm going to also make some videos for my Patreon, how it looks like, walking from the room to the playing venue, etc. So if this is something you would like to see, also you can leave comment. And yeah. All right. The World Cup still continues. I'm still here for a couple of days. And thank you for watching. And see you in the next adventures. Take care.